Alrighty, we are live. Let me go ahead and send the channel over to my friend that said he was going to check this out. All right. Let me guess. All right, cool. So today we are going to be covering, and if y'all don't mind, while I eat, because I am very hungry, and my mother made me food, so I must eat it. So, as of the past 24 hours, well, not exactly 24, we'll say 48, well, now it's 72 in Ukraine. There has been a full-on Ukrainian invasion. They have made significant progress. The fact that they've been able to make more progress than the Russian military has ever made within the past 2.5 years that they've been fighting Ukraine, which is really sad, and apparently costing them 15 billion rubles. 15 billion. I highly doubt 15 billion. It's got to be more, because rubles ain't worth shit these days, and that's a fact. But as we also have Ukraine going on, tensions in the Middle East are rising, and I mean rising. An Iranian attack is imminent within the next maybe 24 hours. So what the Secretary of Defense has been saying, that there will be an attack on maybe late Friday, late Thursday. We are going to have to see. They were conducting military exercises last night as well at around 4 a.m. We'll be getting into that in a little bit as well. And we're just going to be reviewing the last 24 hours of what's been happening recently. So, while we do that, let's go ahead and get started on Ukraine. So, the Kursk region offensive update. So, right now we got a map, and it's going to show us how the Kursk region is looking right now. It is now confirmed to control. Ukraine is now confirmed to control at least 90 kilometers of the Kursk Oblast. So from what I've heard, and from my sources, I've heard that the Ukrainian military pushed in with a battalion at first, and now they have a whole division's worth inside of Ukraine. Now, if you don't know how much a division is, a division consists of, if I'm not mistaken, 4 brigade. Hold on. Before I give y'all the wrong information about that, let me look up how many, because it's 4 brigades in a division, if I'm not mistaken. How many brigades in division? 3 to 4 brigades in a division. And then how many battalions? No, how many battalions in brigade? So typically 3 to 6 battalions in 1 brigade. Now, if we're looking at that and we're doing the math, that's, how do I oh wow, I'm also getting live news from other Telegram channels from Israel. I'm just seeing the same thing all around that I'm covering right now. But anyways, so they rushed in with the whole division. Now, if we do 6 times 4, That's about 20 battalions. Each battalion on the low end has around 600 guys or so. So 600 times, what did I say? 600 times, wait, hold on. I fucked up. Six brigades. Okay, yes. So 6 times 4 equals 24 battalions. So 24 calculator. 24 times 600. About 14,400 men inside of Ukraine right now. I mean, inside of Russia. To 14,400 Ukrainians inside of Russia right now doing this offensive. So, for now, Ukraine holds at least 90 kilometers of the Kursk Oblast. For reference, controls 150 kilometers north of Kharkiv. So here's Kharkiv, and here's the Oblast that they're controlling inside of Russia. The advance is far more extensive than previous incursions, and it has pushed through 2 lines of anti-vehicle ditches and trains, which is and trenches. I'm sorry. Damn, this fucking shit's hitting. I apologize. I have to eat mother's cooking. Anyways, Ukrainian controlled territory is right here. So we have Ukrainian controlled territory occupied by Russia pre-February 2022. So I'm guessing all of this right here. Yeah. And then occupied by Russia. Oh no, so this would be occupied by Russia. Occupied by Ukraine. Boom. So right here. All this right here is occupied by Ukraine. So wait, occupied by Russia. Oh, okay, right here. And then occupied pre-February 2022. Guessing it's all here. And gray zone contested. So this is all. So this is a gray zone contested right here. New gray zone contested. So these are new gray zones contested and recently taken by Ukraine, which is all this right here. Interesting enough, they really put a number on them. They've pushed very, very far. I was not expecting this offensive to go this far. If I'm being completely honest, I really thought they were gonna stay in that little town. If we go to Google Earth real quick right here, Google Earth. Well, you know what? No. Let's do maps. Let's do maps. Google Maps. We do Google Maps. Let me see if I can change the terrain. Can I change the terrain? Yeah, there we go. Terrain. Satellite. There we go. So if we go right over here. Oh shit, I went too far. Kirk's region right here. They're controlling most of this right here. It's a good amount. I think they have the whole entire Kirk's region in their hands right now, which is really insane. So from moving on from that, because we do have a lot of topics to discuss. Ukrainians. Oh wait, we actually have another map here that has an update. I forgot to show y'all this. So, despite claims of further Russian advances in the Prohan salient, Russians would have captured the village of Sarivka and are pushing towards Hordivka. Russians have also captured a large part of the villages in Avnivka and Zeleny. Now, I completely do not know where these cities are, so we're gonna look them up. Let's see here. Oh, it's in the Donetsk Oblast region. Okay. So it's over here down near Crimea in the southern borders. And it looks like Russians are making an advance over here, while the Ukrainians are making an advance as well. But of course, the Russian advances are small. They are nothing compared to what Ukraine is fucking pushing right now. They are pushing P. If we can make that right assumption. As well, we have some video footage from Ukrainian soldiers from the 47th separate. Oh wait, yeah, separate mechanized brigade. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure I'm reading it right. Ukrainian soldiers from the 47th separate mechanized brigade attack Russian soldiers on motorcycles and other equipment. I cannot play the music because it will be copyright, but oh, yep, no, yeah, already fucked up. Okay. But as here you see, FPV drone is going to hit this man and the motorcycle, and boom! Whoa! Yes, but yeah, we'll be doing lots of things in the war. We'll be riding around in armored vehicles. No, Bliet. When you get to Ukraine, it is not armored vehicles, Bliet. It is motorcycles, Bliet. Look at that. Unfortunate for the Russians, but not for the Western folks. But that's one footage. And then we also have footage from Ukrainian 14th separate mechanized brigade. 14th separate mechanized brigade destroyed a Russian 122 millimeter MLRS in a BM-21 Grad in the Kharkiv region. So let's go ahead and take a good look at this. Oh wow. Okay. So this was significant for them for sure. I did not just drop food on the floor. Bitch. I get disappointed when I drop food on the floor. Wow, they really took that shit out. They wiped it out. They wiped it clean. They wiped it of a baby's bottom. Like, seriously, Jesus Christ. And let's see that footage coming out of Ukraine. But we are going to move on from that. And we're going to go ahead and get into a somewhat of a deep, not deep analysis, but somewhat of a more of understanding where or how this day 3 of the Ukrainian invasion into Russia is going. So we're going to go ahead and look at this. Day 3 of Ukrainian special military operation in Russia. What we know, Ukrainian forces are in control of most of the city of Sudsta and reached the outskirts of Koronivo and overnight pushed north and around Malaya, Lakonya, and as per Russian military bloggers and analysis. Ukrainian general staff maintains silence about the offensive and its goals. Russian soldiers post videos of dozens and maybe hundreds of Russian POWs who surrendered in Kursk. Documented losses inside Russia include several IFVs and APCs on the Ukrainian side, 2 tanks and 3 helicopters on the Russian side. Ooh, 2 to 3 helicopters on the Russian side. Interesting. Okay, and 2 tanks. It is a raid or an attempt to hold the trade territory. Time will tell. That's interesting. See, so we go to Google Maps though. We go to Suds though. Kind of far. I went too far. Where's Suds though? Right here. Wow, they really got a good control of Suds though. Eesh. Well, as we can see that was somewhat of a okay map to look at. I wouldn't say it was the best, but as you can see here, another look at the map that we saw earlier. I'll go ahead and move on from that one. And here's some Russians in their telegrams speaking on the behalf of what's going on in the Kursk region. Briefly on the current situation in the Kursk region, the enemy has stopped near the village of Korenivo, parts of Sudsta settlement under the armed forces of Ukraine, and the enemy gathered troops into the occupied areas all night, and the goal apparently is to gain a foothold on our territory. The fight will be serious. Let's see. I really think that Ukraine is most likely going to beat the shit out of these Russians that are coming in. And I heard it's not going to be just, I heard it's not the Russian armed forces either. It's the Wagner group. The Ukrainian armed forces in Kursk Oblast managed to break through 2 lines of fortifications that the Russian army had been building for 2.5 years of war and spending 15 billion rubles. It took the Ukrainian military 20 hours to do this. Yeah, look at that. Yet again, we're just seeing another pictures of just the Ukraine military just showing their dominance and just, you know, pushing into, you know, Russia, which is, this is all insane. Now, right here is a Rybar map of Ukrainian Kursk operation. So right now we're seeing Russian forces in territorial control. So these are so basically all of this right here. So these are the smaller maps, and this is the bigger map. So right now this is all Russian. War zones are on the borders right here, all in Sudsta, and then shelling. So we can see there's shelling going on. Let's see. I don't see much shelling. There isn't much shelling going on actually, which is pretty interesting. But there is a lot of airstrikes going on all around. So Russia's really doing some airstrikes right now, and you know, letting the AFU have it. AFU territorial control, so which is all right here, Lenadovo, Sudsta, all this. That's all they have. And then we have engagement up here, and Libumivka. God, these names are hard to say sometimes, but these are all the engagements that are happening all around Russia. So if we go ahead and go on Google Maps right now, they're having so Sudsta's there. So there's Sudsta. Here we go. So all around up here, as we could see. Yep, found it. So all here. That's crazy. This Ukrainian offense has been really insane. It took everyone by surprise. It really took everyone by surprise. And now people are making the assumption that Ukraine might be heading towards their nuclear power plant in Russia in the Kursk region, because not just that, Russia has one of their nuclear power plants, so they're probably going to have to do trade. They're probably wanting to do trade for trade, which would make sense. But besides that, they are 30 kilometers away. They're hearing sources claim fighting has now reached Korminsky Beak, just 30 minutes from the Kursk nuclear power plant. So let's see what happens. I'm really wondering what's really gonna happen. Remember, guys, I'm not an expert on any of this. I can't really make any good assumptions, but I am learning, and I want everyone here to learn and take a grasp of what is happening right now. I'm just bringing the news, and I want y'all make y'all's assumptions. Y'all put 2 and 2 together and see and make y'all's hypothesis. You know, we never know who's right. We never know who's wrong. We don't know the intentions unless we were right there on the ground. Let's be real. So, as I was telling y'all earlier, Wagner groups were heading towards the Kursk region, and we have video proof of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show it.
Сказал, кто умрет первый, тот пидорас. Умирать нельзя.
Поехали в Курск, бля. Пидорасы разъебывать, с корабля на бал, как говорится.
Пускай ждут шлюхи.
Welcome to hell.
Скоро придем, нахуй. Будет жарко, но мы с огнетушителей. Белого, но много.
An LMG mounted on a barrel. That's crazy.
Командир сказал, Кто умрет первый, тот пидорас. Орать.
That is actually insane. Anyways, moving on from that. And if I'm not mistaken, Wagner Group got disassembled after the Wagner coup that happened almost a year and 2 months ago, but not fully disassembled. They were just, separated along different divisions from what I've heard, but who knows? I haven't really kept up on how their numbers are. But here are some Russian losses that are happening in Kursk. Well, oh yeah. So AFU has advanced in the Kursk region by 10 kilometers. ISW. Analysts write that Ukrainian forces have overcome at least 2 Russian defense lines and stronghold occupied Guevo, Gomel, and Kurivko. Meanwhile, Ukrainian blogs write about 300 captured Russian servicemen, and these are border guards. These guys don't have the, any good military equipment. So we not expect them to give up, but it's what are they gonna fight with? And we now have Russian losses in general over the past 24 hours. Russian plane was destroyed yesterday as a result of combat work in the armed forces of Ukraine. Morning information of the General Staff of Ukraine. As we can see, they have lost 1140 service member or personnel that were injured or wounded. Tanks, they have lost 2. Armored personnel vehicles, 9. Artillery systems, 36. MLRS, 4. Anti-aircraft war systems, 4. Okay. 1 aircraft. Okay. 1 helicopter. Yeah. A UAV operational tactical level, 81. Oh my god. Cruise missiles, 3. And vehicles and fuel tanks, 59. And 8 special equipment, which is insane. Okay. That's a lot of... Oof, they're taking damage, but I'm not surprised they didn't lose as much service members yesterday because they are getting a lot of prisoners. Ukraine's taking up a lot of prisoners in that Kursk region, more than they're taking lives, which is crazy. And then we're gonna go ahead and get to this. Oh wait, no. So yeah, that basically wraps up everything that's happening in Ukraine. Now we're gonna move on to the Middle East, as in Iran doing military exercises at 4 a.m. in Iran. So they are preparing for themselves against Israel. It's now 4 a.m. in Iran, and the reported military exercises by Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and elements of the Air Defense Force in the western and central districts have now begun, with significant commercial flights still up over the west of the country. Which is really, really, really interesting to see that they still have commercial flights going around while they're conducting military exercises. But beyond that, we have some more breaking news that the Israeli announced that it eliminated senior Hamas terrorist Nail Saki in a joint operation with the ISA on July 24th. So this is the guy. Apparently, he was the one that directed the terrorist attacks or the Hamas attacks from the West Bank. He is the director of all terrorist attacks from the West Bank, which is pretty interesting. Oh wait, no. Yeah. That was the guy. So, moving on from that, we're gonna have more. We have some footage right here of Israelis conducting airstrikes on Hezbollah, and we just love to see it. Boom! I'm telling you, these guys are like ruthless. This is crazy. This is insane. But moving on from that, if y'all remember what we discussed yesterday we were talking about how the acting foreign minister of Iran went over to Saudi Arabia to have talks with Saudi Arabia about maybe possibly letting their rockets fly over into Saudi territory to hit Israel. And of course, I was correct. Apparently, they went over there to talk negotiation with Saudi about bringing down the Zionist regime. because Saudi said they can't, that Iran cannot use their airspace, and they will shoot down anything that will come in their airspace. But as you can see, the acting foreign minister of Iran, Abagari, is stated during the meeting with the president of Pakistani delegation on the sidelines of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation yesterday in the city of Jeddah, we must decisively confront the Zionist regime. So you can already see there that tensions are pretty much rising, and they're trying to persuade Saudi Arabia to be able to use their airspace. Like I said, look, this is Iran right here. So if they post up right here, boom, 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 boom. But of course, they're gonna have to get through Jordanian airspace, and that's gonna be really, really, really hard because Israel is literally all up in Jordan, except for right here in Syria, where they have this small gap where they can hit the Golan Heights and all of this northwestern or the northern side of Israel. But we're just gonna have to see how Iran responds to this whole situation, which is gonna be crazy. I really do think it's gonna be crazy. I've only been live for almost 30 minutes, and we have very short on news, which is very interesting to see. But if we did have questions, I would cover them, but we don't have any questions. So, ooh. But this might wrap up the stream. I know it's part of a short stream, not a long one, but again, not much happened over the last 24 hours. Besides Ukraine pushing in to Sudsta and just pushing in further and further, maybe reaching the nuclear power plant, and to maybe have debates, push and pull debates with Putin after that. But who knows? Who really knows? But yeah, I hope everyone liked the coverage. Hopefully soon we'll start getting more chatters in here, getting more questions up, be able to talk more. Of course, sucks that I got no viewers, but at least I'm putting this stuff out, and I want people to know what is really going on, and the stuff that's just happening around the world. And we are all predicting that tomorrow's gonna be major, tonight's gonna be major. So keep your eyeballs out, keep your eyes and ears open for a possible imminent Iranian attack tonight. But as always, everyone be safe, be smart, have a blessed day, stay safe with your family, have a great day, and as always, peace. It's been the Geo Correspondent.